Hello everyone and welcome back to another album review. And in this video I'm going to review the brand new self-titled split of Niku Daruma and Dosis Letalis. Well, that was insane to say the least. I think that my head hurts and my ears are bleeding after this one. This was a very interesting project to say the least. Now, if you are familiar with the content of my channel, you've probably already seen me talk about Niku Daruma. I mean, this is the fourth time I make the review from a project out of them. All I'm asking right now is for just a collab after all this. Can this happen? That would be really cool. But anyways, jokes aside, Niku Daruma is one of those very extreme underground projects that I've said lots of times. It's one of those projects that you can't easily get into. It's to the more extreme sounds of noise that even some of the more neutral listeners to the genre, I think they would have a hard time just getting into this whole extreme sound Niku Daruma offer. So Niku Daruma's sound is definitely not for everyone. And Dosis Letalis, after listening to this track, I wouldn't say he makes things much easier for casual listeners. This is an extremely limited cassette released by Tribe Tapes, and as far as, like I've said, this is the fourth time I review a project from Niku Daruma. This is my first introduction to a Dosis Letalis work, who to my surprise is an individual who has done many albums under this name. Dosis Letalis is, as it seems, a harsh noise wall project, and as far as I'm not that much into the whole harsh noise wall sound, I can say that this work in this split sounds really promising, and if there are more works from him that sound just like this, then I would be really interesting to search through some of his other works because he has a massive discography, and with what he released in this split definitely sounds quite promising. But let's get into this quite short cassette tape, separated in just two sides, with Niku Daruma and Dosis Letalis having one track each, going for like about 14 or 15 minutes long. So the track from Niku Daruma, it's intense as fuck. This is an insane track. This is actually one of the more aggressive moments I've ever heard from Niku Daruma so far, and it's a very good work. I really like how loud this is. The sound of this has this very claustrophobic and very heavy and crashing experience. There are massive walls of noise and this mind-numbingly intense and loud microphone noise feedback. I especially like how in the first and the second minute mark there is this really ear-piercing, high-pitched sound from microphone feedback that it just pierces your ear directly. All of this while containing some quite constant in this occasion and once again very horrifying screams. Now, as far as I like that they keep the sound of their vocals quite raw, just giving this very raw aesthetic to it, I would say that I would prefer if there was a bit of a more manipulation in some occasions, that they wouldn't sound just so direct into the mix. I would like some more like manipulation to them, more sort of effect processing, but still that doesn't like ruin the song at all. I think the vocals once again have a really intense and horrifying sense to them, and they get covered pretty well with those intense and loud feedback that goes on. But if you think that the track from Niku Daruma is extremely loud, then you're not ready with what Dosis Letalis offers with the track Scratching the Walls. I mean, in a sense, yeah, it might sound like scratching the walls with a contact mic that it's just full of intense noise, distortion, and feedback. And be aware while getting into this track, because this is not just loud, this is extremely loud, ridiculously loud, and I've heard a lot of like loud harsh noise wall tracks that completely just isolate every other noise that exists in your surroundings. You know that feel when a harsh noise wall track ends and then everything just sounds more silent than usual, like something is missing? It's like a really weird feel, and it's one of the few occasions that I felt it as intense as with a track scratching the walls. But what I definitely like about this is that it's not just a straight up harsh noise wall track. I like that there is a variety to it. I like that some parts feel sort of connected. It doesn't feel like just a plain bland thing. I like that it's free improvised. I like its cut up segments. I like this glitch aesthetic. It reminds me of lots of reasons that I would find lots of projects from Macronympha to be so interesting and so exciting. The way this track goes in its 15-minute mark actually keeps you intrigued and interesting, and it feels like it sort of has a purpose to it. And the textures and the noise sound on this thing, it sounds really good. So for a track that goes into the harsh noise wall terms, I think this is pretty solid. Once again, a work from Niku Daruma that I enjoy a lot, actually one of my favorite works from them, and the discovery of an artist with a massive catalog in a very short period of time, having a very interesting sense of extreme and loud free improvised walls of noise. So yeah, this split is really solid, very good harsh noise work. I'm going to give this split an 8 out of 10. What's your opinion on this split? Like it, dislike it, why, and what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.